Hey everybody, this is Korey, and I am anywhere from 7 to 14 pounds overweight. So it's 2016, and it's a decent enough chunk into the year that 2015 is way behind us. And all of those embarrassing moments and embarrassing stories are so far in the past that we can laugh about them now. And that's exactly what I'm gonna try to do with you today. I have a story from last summer that I need to confess. So after I finished college, I got in touch with this person who is an agent. And this person helps me audition for like fun things, media type of things. Something came up last summer that hadn't come up before, and it was the chance for me to try and be a model. If you're looking at me right now, you understand why this hasn't come up before. I am short, I am chubby, and my cheekbones are somewhere in here. This opportunity sounded great because in the specific email that I was sent, it said, looking for non-model types. It might as well have said, short and chubby apply here. There was a short list of people that were specifically requested to show up to this test shoot, and my name was on the list. I was reading through and I couldn't believe it. There it was amongst all these strangers that I didn't know but who I also assumed were short and chubby. And as I was reading, they said specifically we're looking for this BMI range, and there's a lot of controversy about the BMI and how it doesn't accurately represent how healthy you are, but I was reading it as the Bible in this specific instance. Weighed myself and I measured my height and I made the cut just barely. I was on the heavier side of the BMI spectrum of what they were looking for. So seeking non-model types but don't eat pizza the night before is now what I'm thinking. So the night before the shoot, I fell into this terrible downward spiral of what am I gonna eat? I'm gonna go have a salad and I'm just gonna drink water and I'm not gonna eat anything the rest of the night. And it was so easy to see how people can fall into that pattern, and it was disappointing for me because I've never been that type of person. The next morning, I woke up early. I couldn't even bring myself to eat breakfast. All I had was coffee, to the point where I was jittery. I had taken so many poops, it was ridiculous, but I felt cleansed, ready to go, and at my thinnest possible. I got dressed and I drove into the city, and I was so nervous. And the condos got bigger, and the apartment buildings got nicer, and the stores got swankier, and I slowly realized I was out of my element. And as I turned onto the street where the photographer studio is located, I can just feel myself get uglier and uglier as I'm driving. My snaggletooth popped out, I got like 4 new pimples, my hair just fell completely flat, and my outfit suddenly didn't seem to fit me at all. I was Shrek standing outside of Vogue. So I parked my car, I said a little prayer, mustered up as much self-confidence as I possibly could, and I marched into that photographer studio, and it looked exactly like a house from the real world on MTV. Big industrial loft that had been retrofitted. There were awesome like wood floors and huge like light screens and computer setup. And there were people taking all kinds of shots, and then just like on Deal or No Deal, the main man in charge, the photographer, sat like up in an area surrounded by computers, and all you could see was his silhouette. The walls were covered with his portraits, and there were some famous faces and just some edgy high fashion faces. I walked right in, and there was a kitchen, and there were a bunch of like swanky looking people like leaning on the counter filling out these forms, nobody talking to anybody. To this day, couldn't even tell you what I wrote on that thing. And I went over and I handed my form to this girl who took my measurements and didn't quite confirm to me that I was in the range or not, but directed me over to a photographer who smiled and shook my hand and asked me to do a bunch of test shots for him, and it was just basically like a classier version of a mug shot. I was like this, couple at the quarter, and I was done within a matter of minutes. I grabbed my things, and I was like, guess what? I'm a model, and I have just as good a chance as anybody else in this room of getting this job that I really, really wanted. And as I walked to the door, in comes a person who looks exactly like me. We were wearing the same sneakers, we were wearing the identical shade of jeans, both black V-neck t-shirts, short cropped hair, the same height, and the same worried look on our face. As I left, I said, good luck, man, and ran back to my car. So the days go by, the weeks go by, no phone call came to me for being a model, but at least I got the experience, and I thought it would make a good story once I could get past my humiliation of actually trying and failing at this thing that I felt like I should have known I was going to be a failure at from the start. That's my embarrassing story that I like to tell now because I'm a decent distance away from it, and I can see the perspective, and I can see the new experience, and the fun that I had, and the chance that I got to live this little fantasy, even if it never worked out. So let me know maybe an embarrassing story in 2015 that you had, or a time that you felt you were qualified or cut out for something that you just absolutely were not. And be sure to interact with me whether you're watching me or you're not watching me. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram. All of those links will be in the box down below. Until then, stay short, stay chubby, stay however you want. My name's Korey, and I'll talk to you soon.